Hi there! In this video, we'll have a look at some observations of the RC yacht from this year, including some new observations we haven't covered yet. Each observation occurs at the same body of water and from the same viewing height each day. The center of the camera lens is around 1.5 inches above the surface each day. Here is a look at an approximate scale of the RC yacht in inches. The first observation we'll look at takes place on December 2nd between 11 and 11:30 a.m. The air temperature was around 43 degrees Fahrenheit and the water temperature was about 47 degrees. It was a calm and cloudy day with very little movement of the water. Here is the yacht, not even 200 feet away, already mirroring. Now we sail the boat out towards 700 feet. By the time the yacht gets out to around 700 feet, only the very top of the flag is visible. Raising the viewing height allows the light from the hull of the boat to arrive to the viewer. The next observation we'll look at is on December 4th between 12:30 and 1 p.m. The air and water temperature were both right at 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Usually, unless the air temperature is a few degrees or more than the water, inferior mirage and/or sinking refraction effects are observed and we're unable to see the water leading all the way up to the opposite bank. On this day, though, we're able to see the water leading clear across to the opposite bank, which is around 1,000 feet from the camera. Here is the boat getting out towards 300 feet or so from the observer. The camera is at 100 times zoom, equivalent to 2,400 millimeters. This is about what you would expect to see on a level plane surface with no refraction present. The red and yellow object represents the yacht 300 feet from the observer, and the gray background object represents the opposite bank at 1,000 feet away. Now we sail out the yacht. Here it is around 700 feet from the observer. It appears a bit compressed, but the light from the hull of the yacht and the water beyond still arrive to the viewer. At around 800 feet or so, as the yacht reaches the shimmering ripples in the distance, it appears even more distorted and compressed and difficult to make out. Next, we'll compare some features of the distant bank from these 2 days, December 2nd and 4th. Here is some scenery across the water each day, with the camera at 100 times zoom. The features near the top align pretty well, but as we get to around the third line from the top, you'll notice that the objects in the right image begin to appear lower and larger than they do on the left. We've documented this before. On days when there is sinking refraction or inferior mirage present, the light from the bottom 8 inches or so of the distant bank does not arrive to the viewer, and the light from objects about a foot or so above the surface can be affected. Next, we'll look at December 6th. This observation took place between 11:15 and 11:45 in the morning. The air temperature was around 52 degrees Fahrenheit, and the water was 46 degrees Fahrenheit. There was more movement of the water this day than previous days. Here is the yacht getting out towards 500 feet. On this day, we're again able to see the light from the entire yacht and the water beyond, leading to the distant bank. As the boat gets out to 700 feet or so, we're still able to see the light from the entire boat and water beyond. Now we'll take a look at a day back in February of this year with similar wind speed and direction and movement of the water. The water temperature was about 48 degrees Fahrenheit, the air near the surface was showing approximately 45 degrees, and the air from a few feet above the surface was reading about 44 degrees. On this day, there is an apparent horizon line that forms somewhere around 300 to 400 feet from the observer. By about 700 feet, the light from the hull of the boat doesn't arrive to the viewer. We have to raise the viewing height to receive the light from the hull. Now we'll quickly look at a few more observations from the last month. The water temperature was around 54 degrees Fahrenheit for each observation. First, November 12th, the air temperature was around 64 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees warmer than the water. On this day, the distant water line relative to the yacht appeared a bit higher than would be expected across a level plane surface with no refraction present. Once the air temperature gets up closer to 10 degrees and more than the water, this effect of the raised apparent water line is often observed. The next day, November 14th, the air was around 8 degrees warmer than the water, and the distant water line again appears to be a bit raised. Finally, November 18th. It was a calm day, and the air was around 55 degrees Fahrenheit, a little over 1 degree warmer than the water. The yacht again disappears bottom up as it sails away from the observer. By 700 feet, only the top of the yacht is visible. Different days and conditions provide various results. Some days the surface can seem to appear convex, other days concave, and if the conditions are just right and the distant light arrives without being drastically displaced, the surface may appear close to what it truly is. We're working on some new observations that we'll have out soon. Thanks for watching!